If you would like to get into a new language learning process naturally and in an easy way for your lifetime, you must have to come up with the mental setup before starting your language learning process. Language is firmly connected with the psychological attitude, and how much you understand them properly. I'm Emran Ahmed, mentor rigorous English. First of all, you have to consider the particular language, how much is it required or significant for your life and careers. When you feel it, the language is so important part for your life. So it would be easy to get into them, right? So that's why I would like to really discuss a couple of important points for language learning process. Well, so if you really would like to get into the formally in a language learning process, you must have to understand the English language. So how are you going to understand it? First criteria for understanding it, in your life, in different aspect, anyone's life, you must have to listen up. You have to listen a lot. If you do a different aspect and different facts in your life, when your careers and your academic life, so if you lots of way you are listening, it would be easy way to understand the language. Any person can speak in English. It doesn't matter you are educated or uneducated. Literate or illiterate person. If you say some example, if I mention over here, if someone is living in Saudi Arabia, like a Bangladeshi people, so within 6 months he would be able to speak in Arabic language. How is it possible? It's only possible when he go for like a listen a lot. He never know how to write in Arabic, but still he can speak Arabic after 6 months later. So what the actually logic behind that? Behind that logic is that listening. Lots of listening. So in a real life. So how any person, right? Anyone who would like to get into the right English and better way to communicate with others. The two things is important for this stuff. One is input and other is output. So as I'm talking about how we can improve your listening skills to really develop your English language. First thing, you have to do an input. And input is the first criteria to get into the language skills. So what types of input you can do it? Listening is the first criteria for improve your input. You can go for a podcast, drama, music, and song, and different types of documentaries, because in our life, not full, it's a one types of language, one types of vocabulary, so we're using it in our daily life. In our daily application, we're using it so many way we involve in our life. So if you listen a different aspect, different fact, different matter in your life, so it would be easy to understand them, right? So another important part for you as an educated person, you have another important improve your listening input stuff, that is the reading. So if you read a lot, so it would be easy for input materials. So what happened in there? And if you do input a lot, and it would be best way to output, right? So output in speaking. In our daily life, many people think that they would like to speak in fluently. That's why they might got admission in somewhere else and they memorized a lots of vocabularies and full of grammars. They understood that full of grammars and tense and different phrases and different situations, but still they are not capable to manage the situation. They can't speak naturally and fluently. So what's the problem actually lying there? Because they never had the language in a naturally, right? So what happened after having a lots of knowledge, still the lack of strategy, lack of way of getting to their English language, they are disappointed and they lost their mind. So later on, they're scared about the English language. They don't want to, again, to carry on their learning process. So finally, one of the important things in my advice, my point of view, I would like to let you know that without having practice, you'll never be an expert in this area. And that is the skills basically. You have a full of knowledge, you have full of language knowledge, grammar, vocabularies, but still you are not capable. So mean that you have to practice a lot. If you practice, as I am saying to you, listening, my advice is listening, and listening. Without having listening, you never will get into the natural English language process. And another important things, although you have listening, you have lots of input, but for your output you have to practice. So practice in your speaking, practice. Thank you very much once again, and hope to see you soon another videos in my YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Bye then.